Welcome, gents. What makes a man a true king? Is it the crown on his head, the seat of power he occupies, or the recognition of the masses? Or could it be something deeper, something that cannot be seen but is felt in the way he lives? This is where the Sigma male stands apart. He is not a king because people bow to him or because he demands loyalty. He is a king because he governs himself first, and from that inner order he creates a life that cannot be shaken. Unlike the loud rulers who thrive on control and applause, the Sigma male draws his strength from silence, from discipline, and from the ability to live without betraying who he is. His power does not need to be announced because it is written in how he handles struggle, how he makes choices, and how he stays grounded even in the middle of storms. And here is where you should take encouragement. True strength is not measured by how many people clap for you. It is measured by how firmly you can walk your own path without losing yourself. When you build your life on principles instead of trends, when you refuse to let the world shake your foundation, you are already wearing a crown that no one can take away. A Sigma male proves that kingship is not about thrones. It is about living with such integrity and clarity that your life itself becomes your kingdom. Let's get started, gents. Number 1. A Sigma male's throne is invisible because it is built on self-mastery. You cannot dethrone a man who has conquered himself. A Sigma male's throne is not made of gold, velvet, or stone. It cannot be seen, touched, or even handed down. His throne is invisible because it is built on self-mastery, and that makes it stronger than any crown history has ever placed on a man's head. Think about it for a moment. Most people spend their lives trying to control what is outside of them. They want power over money, people, or situations. But the Sigma male flips the script. He's not obsessed with ruling others. He's obsessed with ruling himself. That means mastering his emotions, his impulses, his fears, and his ambitions. And once you conquer yourself, who in this world can truly dethrone you? Imagine a man who no longer reacts out of anger when provoked. Instead of being dragged into drama, he stays calm, makes clear decisions, and moves on. That is self-mastery. Picture someone who has learned to delay gratification, who can save when others spend, who can focus when others are distracted. That is a throne no one can touch. The Sigma male lives by that principle every single day. We often think kingship is about having followers or armies, but the Sigma male proves that leadership without self-control is just an illusion. You might impress the world for a while, but if you are a prisoner to your own impulses, life will eventually expose it. That is why the Sigma male invests in discipline more than appearance. Here is the unfiltered reality. A man who has conquered himself cannot be manipulated with flattery, cannot be controlled by fear, and cannot be broken by loss. His throne is invisible but unshakable because it is built inside him. This is the lesson for anyone listening. Before you chase influence, learn to sit on your own throne. Master your mind, discipline your habits, and strengthen your spirit. When you reach that point, you no longer worry about being replaced or overthrown. You become the type of person who carries authority everywhere without needing to prove it. That is the kind of kingship no throne in the world can compete with. Number 2. A Sigma male's power does not come from people cheering him on. It comes from his ability to keep moving even when no one is watching. That is where his strength is tested and proven. Applause can make anyone feel powerful for a moment, but what happens when the clapping stops? That's when most people fall apart. The Sigma male is different. His drive is not fueled by noise from the crowd, but by a fire that burns quietly inside him. Think about an athlete training before sunrise. No cameras, no fans, no coaches shouting encouragement. Just him, the track, and his determination to push past yesterday's limit. That discipline, when no one is around to notice, is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. The Sigma male applies this same principle in every area of life. Whether it is building his career, sharpening his mind, or protecting his peace, he does it without needing an audience. Most people crave recognition to keep going. They want likes, applause, or at least someone to say, "Well done." The Sigma male has learned that if your motivation depends on approval, your strength will collapse the moment approval is withdrawn. His consistency is born in silence. That is why his progress often surprises people. By the time they notice him, he is already far ahead. Picture a student who studies late into the night when everyone else is asleep, not because he has to prove anything, but because he refuses to waste his potential. Or consider the worker who quietly builds a business after hours, not broadcasting every step, but steadily laying bricks until one day the results speak for themselves. That is the Sigma male's reality. This is what makes him powerful in a way that cannot be faked. He keeps moving even when the world is not clapping. His victories are first personal before they ever become public. And here lies the challenge for you. If you can learn to stay disciplined when no one sees you, if you can keep building when no one encourages you, then your power will not just last, it will multiply. Because the real strength is not in being noticed. The real strength is in being unstoppable when unnoticed. Number 3, he is both predator and protector. He knows when to hunt and when to guard what matters. This balance is what makes the Sigma male stand out in a world where most men tilt too far to one side. Some chase endlessly, always in hunt mode, never knowing when to slow down. Others cling so tightly to safety that they lose their edge. The Sigma male understands that real strength is knowing when to advance and when to defend. Think about a lion. The same creature that hunts with precision can also sit calmly, guarding its pride with unwavering focus. That duality is what the Sigma male embodies. He knows when it is time to chase opportunities and push boundaries, and he also knows when it is time to protect his peace, his values, and his circle. He does not waste his energy on endless pursuit, but he does not hesitate to act when the moment is right. For example, in business, he can be aggressive when spotting an opening, striking quickly while others hesitate. But in his personal life, he may be protective, choosing to keep his relationships private and guarding them from unnecessary interference. That ability to shift roles with intention is rare, yet it is what keeps him unshakable. The predator in him refuses to settle for mediocrity. He is willing to go after what he believes is his, whether it is knowledge, growth, or opportunity. The protector in him ensures that once he builds something meaningful, he defends it with everything he has. Without balance, either side can destroy a man. Hunt too much and you burn out. Guard too much and you become stagnant. The Sigma male thrives because he understands when to move and when to stay still. Here is the truth for you. Life will always test whether you know how to balance pursuit and protection. There will be times to chase dreams and times to shield what you already have. If you can master both instincts, you stop being reactive and start being strategic. That is what makes the Sigma male powerful. He is sharp enough to hunt, but wise enough to protect. And that combination is what keeps him unstoppable. Number 4. Unlike kings who sit on thrones, he builds empires inside his mind first. His vision always outpaces the crowd. This is the quiet power of the Sigma male. Where most people wait for resources, support, or perfect timing, he begins with imagination. He understands that every empire the world has ever seen was first born in someone's thoughts before it became reality. Think of an architect. Before a single brick is laid, the blueprint exists. The Sigma male lives the same way. He sketches out entire futures in his mind while others are still debating whether to take the first step. It is not daydreaming, it is calculated foresight. He sees possibilities where others only see obstacles, and that ability sets him apart in every space he occupies. For example, imagine a young man working at a small job while secretly studying and planning his business at night. To outsiders, he looks ordinary, but inside his mind, he is already building the system, the network, and the brand that will one day make him stand out. By the time the crowd notices, the foundation has already been built in silence. That is how Sigma males move. Their vision always outruns the present moment. Most people measure life by what they can see right now. They get discouraged by lack of money, lack of support, or lack of recognition. The Sigma male flips this by focusing on the invisible first. He invests his energy in mental clarity, strategy, and self-discipline. Once those are in place, the external results become inevitable. This is why the crowd often struggles to understand him. While they are busy chasing quick wins, he is planting long-term seeds. He is not interested in temporary applause because he knows that vision takes time to mature. His patience and foresight allow him to stay calm while others panic. Here is the lesson for anyone listening. Your current situation does not define your future. What you see in your mind and how seriously you commit to it matters more than what others see today. If you can build strong empires in your thoughts and back them with consistent action, the world will eventually catch up. That is the Sigma male's secret. He wins in the mind before he wins in reality. Number 5, His resilience comes from fire tested in private battles no one clapped for. He is used to winning wars no one ever saw. This is the secret foundation of the Sigma male's strength. The world often marvels at his composure and wonders how he remains unshaken when storms hit. But what they do not realize is that he has already faced storms in silence long before anyone was watching. Most people only show up strong when they know an audience is present. They draw courage from recognition and motivation from applause. The Sigma male is built differently. His hardest struggles happen behind closed doors with no spotlight, no support, and no one handing him medals for survival. That is why his resilience is unbreakable. He has already been hardened in battles that would have crushed others. Picture a man dealing with financial setbacks in silence, refusing to broadcast his struggles yet refusing to quit. Or think about someone facing personal loss but still finding the strength to rebuild piece by piece without demanding sympathy. Those private battles sharpen him in ways that public praise never could. They become scars that no one sees but that give him quiet confidence. This is why he walks through challenges with calmness. He has already been trained in the dark. People might think he avoids drama, but the truth is he has already fought wars most cannot imagine. He does not need validation for his struggles because he knows the strength gained is reward enough. And here is where it connects to real life. The challenges that no one knows about often shape you more than the victories everyone applauds. Your silent battles, the moments when you fight discouragement at midnight or push forward despite setbacks no one else sees. Those are the fires that forge resilience. That is why the Sigma male thrives. He is not a stranger to pain, and he is not waiting for recognition to survive it. He is used to winning quietly, and by the time the world notices, he has already conquered far more than they will ever understand. His resilience is not borrowed from applause, it is forged in solitude, and that makes it indestructible. Number 6. His strength lies in how little the external world can shake his internal world. He is an anchor in chaos. While most people are tossed around by every storm life throws at them, the Sigma male carries a calmness that feels almost unexplainable. It is not that he avoids chaos. It is that chaos does not easily get inside him. Think about a ship at sea. Waves crash, winds roar, and the water is restless. But the anchor keeps the vessel steady. That is what the Sigma male represents. He may be surrounded by noise, uncertainty, or even hostility, yet his inner world remains firm. This is because he has trained himself not to let external events dictate his peace. Most people react immediately to what happens around them. A harsh word ruins their entire day. A setback makes them question their worth. A sudden challenge drains their energy. The Sigma male is wired differently. He understands that the external world will always be unstable, so he focuses on stabilizing himself. That way, when everything else shakes, he does not. For example, imagine a workplace filled with panic after a sudden crisis. Colleagues scramble, voices rise, and fear spreads. While everyone else loses clarity, the Sigma male stays calm, analyzing the situation step by step. His composure becomes a quiet anchor for others who start drawing stability from him. Or think about family challenges where emotions run wild. Instead of adding fuel, he brings balance, offering solutions where others only bring complaints. This does not mean he feels nothing. It means he has trained his emotions not to control him. By mastering his inner state, he ensures that his decisions are clear and his direction remains intact, no matter how chaotic the world gets. Here is the truth. Life will never stop testing you with storms, but strength is not measured by how loud you shout during chaos. It is measured by how still and grounded you remain when everything else shakes. That is the Sigma male's quiet power. He is not just surviving chaos. He is the anchor that shows others it can be endured without losing yourself. Number 7. He is not distracted by every opportunity that comes his way. He chooses with precision, and that choice alone multiplies his influence. This is one of the rare qualities that separates a Sigma male from the rest. While most people rush after every door that opens, afraid they might miss out, he understands that not every opportunity is worth the cost. Think of life as a chessboard. The average player makes moves just to stay busy, but the master thinks several steps ahead. That is how the Sigma male operates. He knows that saying yes to everything dilutes energy, wastes time, and spreads a man too thin. So he moves differently. He studies his options, weighs the consequences, and then selects the path that will have the greatest impact long term. Imagine someone offered 3 different jobs at once. Many would take the one with the biggest salary immediately. The Sigma male looks deeper. He asks which job aligns with his growth, which one expands his skills, and which one offers freedom instead of a golden cage. By saying no to 2 options, he protects his time and focus, which makes the one choice far more powerful. This is why his influence multiplies. Precision creates clarity, and clarity creates strength. While others burn out chasing everything, he builds momentum by choosing only what truly matters. Over time, this focused approach makes him more effective, more respected, and more impactful. In everyday life, you see this principle play out in small ways too. He does not waste hours in meaningless conversations, endless social scrolling, or shallow pursuits. His yes carries weight because it is backed by thought, and his no carries power because it protects his mission. Here is the truth. Opportunities will always come, but not all of them are doors worth walking through. The Sigma male teaches us that real success is not about how much you grab, but how wisely you select. Precision in choices is what builds unstoppable influence. If you learn to guard your energy and only invest it in what aligns with your spirit, you will discover that your impact grows naturally without forcing it. Number 8. His greatest wealth is not material. It is the ability to live life without selling his soul to trends or expectations. This is what sets a Sigma male apart in a world where most people measure success by possessions. He understands that money, status, and approval are fleeting, but integrity and freedom are priceless. Look around and you will see how easily people trade their values for acceptance. They wear what others say is fashionable, speak how society wants them to speak, and chase careers they do not love just to keep up appearances. The Sigma male chooses a different path. He knows that true wealth is the ability to live on his own terms, even if it looks unconventional to others. Imagine someone who refuses to buy into every trend just because it is popular. While others spend their earnings on the latest gadgets or flashy lifestyles, he invests in things that truly matter to him, like knowledge, personal growth, or quiet experiences that bring peace. That discipline frees him from the endless cycle of comparison. He does not wake up stressed about keeping up with anyone because he has already defined what success means for him. This inner clarity gives him an edge. When you are not chained to trends, you are not controlled by them. When you do not chase every expectation, you can focus on building a life that actually fulfills you. And in the long run, this creates a form of wealth that no one can take away. Think of it like this. A person who owns many things but constantly fears losing them is not truly rich, but a man who can live in alignment with his own truth, free from the weight of other people's standards, carries a wealth far deeper than money. That is the Sigma male's gift. He does not just live, he lives without compromise. Here is the encouragement for you. Do not let trends dictate your choices. Do not shrink your life into society's checklist. Define what matters and guard it fiercely. Because real wealth is not about having the most. It is about being free enough to live without betraying yourself. That is a treasure far greater than gold. Number 9, he creates his own rules of engagement. The world bends toward his standards instead of him lowering himself to meet the world's. This is one of the clearest signs of a Sigma male's power. He does not live by the terms society tries to force on him. Instead, he carefully defines his own terms and then commits to them with such clarity that others eventually have no choice but to adapt. Most people are quick to compromise just to fit in. They bend their values to match the environment, hoping to be accepted. But the Sigma male flips this script. He is not reckless, but he knows exactly where he stands. And that makes his presence non-negotiable. Imagine a person who walks into a workplace and refuses to join in the gossip culture. At first, others may label him as different, maybe even difficult. But over time, the respect he gains for staying true to his own standard shifts the atmosphere. People stop trying to pull him into the noise and they start noticing the weight of his discipline. This ability to set personal rules of engagement is not about arrogance. It is about strength. The Sigma male does not lower his goals, his principles, or his way of life just because the crowd thinks differently. Take the example of someone who refuses to spend recklessly, even when friends are living above their means just for appearance. At first he might look out of place, but eventually his financial stability becomes the standard others admire. The world respects consistency. It bends toward those who stand firm when others are easily swayed. That is why Sigma males often end up shaping culture rather than being shaped by it. They do not shout about their principles. They simply live them so fully that others start to recognize the strength behind them. Here is where the lesson becomes personal. If you want the world to respect your path, stop lowering yourself to meet it. Define what matters most to you and refuse to compromise on it. It may feel lonely at first, but soon enough, people will learn to meet you at your level. That is the invisible authority of a Sigma male, and it is available to anyone who has the courage to live by their own rules. Number 10. His crown is unseen because it is not given by people. His crown is unseen because it is not given by people. It is forged by solitude, discipline, and the refusal to bow to mediocrity. This is the essence of a Sigma male's authority. While most crowns are handed down through lineage, elections, or popularity, his is different. It is earned in silence through choices that few ever witness. Solitude sharpens him. While others fear being alone, he embraces it as a forge where strength and clarity are born. In that quiet space, he learns who he truly is without the noise of opinions. Solitude strips away the distractions, forcing him to confront himself and build from within. That is where his crown begins to take shape. Discipline strengthens him. Anyone can dream, but few have the grit to turn vision into reality. The Sigma male does not rely on motivation alone. He builds daily habits that anchor him even when he does not feel like showing up. Just as an athlete repeats the same drills until mastery becomes second nature, he trains himself to stay consistent. That consistency is what gives his crown weight. And then there is his refusal to bow to mediocrity. This is where his real authority comes from. He would rather walk alone at a higher standard than blend into a crowd that settles for less. While others compromise to be accepted, he draws a clear line and says, "This is who I am and this is how I will live." That bold refusal becomes a crown invisible to the eye but undeniable in presence. Picture a man who wakes early to work on his craft while everyone else is still asleep, who chooses to save when everyone else spends recklessly, who speaks truth when everyone else stays silent. No one hands him recognition at first, but over time his results, his stability and his influence make people realize they are standing before someone crowned in a way the world cannot explain. Here is the truth. An unseen crown lasts longer than one placed on your head by people, because what people give, they can also take away. But what you forge in solitude, discipline, and strength becomes untouchable. That is why the Sigma male reigns without a throne. His crown is real, even if no one else can see it. Number 11. He does not need to dominate people to prove power. He does not need to dominate people to prove power. His very presence challenges false authority without him lifting a finger. That is the kind of strength a Sigma male carries. A strength that is not loud but undeniable. Most people confuse power with control. They think shouting the loudest or forcing others to submit makes them powerful. But the Sigma male knows real authority is not about domination. It is about alignment with truth. When a man has mastered himself and stands firm in his values, he automatically exposes what is fake around him. False leaders hate this, because his calm presence reminds everyone that their influence is built on shaky ground. Imagine a workplace where a boss rules through fear and intimidation. Everyone bows to him except one person. That one person is not disrespectful, but he refuses to be controlled by fear. He does his work with precision, speaks only when necessary, and carries himself with quiet confidence. Suddenly people begin to notice the difference. The boss's authority starts to look weaker, not because of rebellion, but because someone is showing that fear is not the only way to operate. That is the Sigma effect. He never wastes energy trying to prove superiority. Instead, he embodies it. His discipline, clarity, and refusal to bend to empty power structures naturally unsettle those who thrive on control. In the presence of someone like that, people begin to rethink what real strength looks like. This principle applies everywhere, in family settings, in business, in social spaces. A Sigma male does not need to fight for dominance because real authority is not something you grab. It is something you earn by being unshakable in who you are. And when others see that you cannot be bought, bullied, or manipulated, they begin to respect you, even if they do not admit it out loud. Here is the truth. False authority crumbles in front of authentic presence. That is why a Sigma male can walk into any environment and immediately shift the balance without saying much. He does not break the system with noise. He exposes its weakness simply by being solid, and that is a power no throne or title can ever give. Number 12. He measures strength not by how many people follow him, but by how easily he can walk away from anything that does not align with his spirit. This is the quiet mark of a Sigma male. For him, strength is not about how many hands clap for him or how many voices chant his name. Strength is about refusing to be chained by what weakens his soul, no matter how tempting it looks on the surface. Most people confuse attachment with power. They think holding on to more relationships, more recognition, and more possessions makes them stronger. In reality, it often makes them weaker because the fear of losing those things controls them. The Sigma male flips that script. His power shows up in his ability to let go when something no longer fits the path he has chosen. Imagine a man offered a high-paying job that goes against his values. Many would convince themselves to take it, telling themselves the money is worth the compromise. The Sigma male has the courage to walk away. Not because he does not need money, but because he refuses to sell his spirit for comfort or think about a relationship where loyalty is questioned. Instead of clinging out of fear of being alone, he leaves without hesitation. That kind of clarity is strength. This ability to detach is what keeps him free. The more you can walk away from what drains you, the less control the world has over you. It is not easy because walking away often means facing uncertainty. But the Sigma male has trained himself to see peace as more valuable than false security. And here lies the lesson for anyone listening. Strength is not about how tightly you can hold on. It is about how boldly you can let go when something costs you your authenticity. If you can walk away from what does not serve your growth, you prove that your spirit cannot be bought or broken. That is the kind of power that lasts, the kind of power no crowd can give and no loss can take away. In final words, what makes a man truly powerful? Is it the seat he holds, the title he carries, or the applause of the crowd? Or is it something deeper, something that cannot be handed over or taken away? The truth is, Sigma males remind us that greatness does not always come with thrones, crowns, or public recognition. It comes from mastering yourself in a world that constantly tries to shape you into something you are not. A Sigma male shows that strength is not about domination, but about direction. He builds his kingdom within before he ever creates anything outside. His battles are often silent, his victories unseen, but the impact is undeniable. He chooses discipline over distraction, peace over noise, and authenticity over approval. That is why his reign is not temporary. It lasts because it is rooted in principles, not in popularity. Here is where the encouragement lies for you. You do not need permission to claim your own crown. You do not need applause to prove that your path matters. If you are committed to your values, willing to stand firm in solitude and courageous enough to refuse mediocrity, then you are already building a throne no one can topple. So the next time you doubt yourself because the world does not see what you are doing, remember this truth. The strongest crowns are the ones forged in silence. The most powerful leaders are those who do not have to announce their authority because it shows in how they live. Kings with thrones come and go, but those who build from within become timeless, and that is the unfiltered reality of Sigma males. Thank you for watching, Gents, and God bless you.